Your company's most valuable asset is how customers perceive it. Brian Tracy. A brand isn't just on paper or in numbers on a report. It lives in the minds and hearts of customers. A company may have modern factories, abundant capital, and a strong workforce, but if customers don't know it exists, or worse, have a negative impression, it's like a castle built on sand. How customers remember you, that's the intangible asset with the power to make or break your survival. It's your reputation, their trust, and the emotions they associate with your products and services. When a brand is etched deeply in customers' hearts, that's when a company possesses its most enduring treasure, far beyond the value of money. In my 22nd, I never took a single day off. Not one. Bill Gates. Your 22nd are a golden time when energy overflows, ambition knows no fatigue, and every hour can lay the foundation for your future. Bill Gates turned his youth into a relentless pursuit of work, building a tech empire that changed the world. The message isn't to sacrifice everything for work, but this: if you're truly passionate, every second you dedicate to it is a joy and a worthy investment. It was that devoted youth that created achievements, leaving him with no regrets later in life. Business is like a wheelbarrow. Nothing happens until you start pushing. Business ideas, detailed plans, or grand dreams remain motionless without real action to set them in motion. A wheelbarrow, no matter how sturdy or capable of carrying a heavy load, will stay still unless someone dares to push it. Business is the same. Every success begins with the first step, no matter how small, clumsy, or difficult. Only when you start pushing does momentum build, motivation arise, and the wheelbarrow rolls forward. Without passion, you have no energy. Without energy, you have nothing. Nothing great in the world was ever achieved without passion. Partist Donald Trump. Passion is the invisible fuel that powers people through long, exhausting nights, turning challenges into motivation. Without passion, you're like a car without fuel. No matter how perfectly designed, it won't move. Every great achievement, from scientific breakthroughs to business empires, began with people who lived and burned for their ideals. Passion not only fuels energy, but also inspires and spreads, turning individual actions into collective strength. In other words, passion is the lifeblood, energy is the flow, and success is the fruit of their union. Where there is no competition, there is no market. A market only truly exists when many players strive to win the hearts of customers. Competition is the heartbeat of a market. It drives innovation, improves quality, reduces costs, and delivers better value to consumers. A market without competition is like a still lake, seemingly calm but stagnant, with no growth. Only when waves clash does a current form and new opportunities arise. So, instead of fearing competition, see it as a measure of value, a fire that tests gold, and a force to rise stronger. Business? It's simple. It's other people's money. Alexandre Dumas. Business doesn't exist in a vacuum. It thrives on trust, exchange, and the flow of money from customers, investors, or partners. Every decision, product, or service revolves around creating enough value for others to willingly part with their money. A successful entrepreneur isn't just someone who holds money, but someone who makes others' money flow to them through trust, quality, and vision. In other words, business is both simple and complex. Simple because it's about other people's money, but complex in earning that money's trust. Sometimes, by losing a battle, you find a way to win the war. Donald Trump. In the journey of business and life, not every failure is to be feared. Some losses are necessary trade-offs to observe, learn, and prepare for greater victories. A lost battle can reveal weaknesses, clarify opponents, and strengthen resolve. The key is not letting a short-term loss obscure the long-term goal. A wise person doesn't bet everything on a single round, but steps back once to advance 3 steps forward. For lasting success isn't measured by fleeting wins, but by winning the war through patience, strategy, and vision. Every sale has 5 basic obstacles. No need, no money, no urgency, no the theory, no trust, and a Zig Ziglar. Customers may refuse because they don't see the need, lack funds, feel no urgency, lack desire, or don't trust you. This means the art of selling isn't just about pitching. It's about overcoming these barriers, making the product essential, offering value beyond cost, creating urgency, sparking desire, and above all, building unshakable trust. A great salesperson doesn't push customers to buy, but helps them feel confident they're making the right choice. Choose the right timing, stay persistent, and 10 years of effort will make you seem like an overnight success. Biz Stone. There's no such thing as true overnight success. What people call overnight success is the result of thousands of days of persistence, countless hours of hard work, and numerous failures, all quietly building until the moment is ripe. Like a seed buried deep in the soil for years, it sprouts and grows so fast it leaves people in awe. Success, therefore, isn't magic. It's the intersection of relentless preparation and the perfect moment. The persistent will turn 10 years of effort into a miraculous night. Tough business conditions will weed out those who lack daily positivity in their work. In good times, laziness or irresponsibility can be temporarily hidden. But when storms hit crises, fierce competition, scarce resources, only those who are truly dedicated, persistent, and positive will stand firm. Hardship is like a sieve. It keeps the strong grains and discards the superficial and passive. Thus, a crisis is not just a challenge, but an opportunity for individuals and businesses to prove their mettle and affirm their true value. In other words, the positive turn hardship into a springboard. The passive are drowned by it. First, listen to yourself, no matter how brilliant the words on paper may seem. Second, stick closely to what you know well. Third, sometimes your best investments are those you didn't create yourself. Donald Trump. First, listen to yourself. Amid a sea of information and advice, your intuition and resolve are your compass, for no one knows your situation and goals better than you. Second, focus on your strengths. Investing in what you understand gives you a competitive edge, avoiding games where you lack knowledge. Third, know when to trust others. Some of the smartest investments come not from what you build, but from recognizing others' value and partnering at the right time. These 3 principles are like a tripod: confidence, focus, and wise choices. Standing firm on that tripod, an entrepreneur can thrive in a turbulent marketplace. You can't just ask customers what they want and then try to give it to them. By the time you finish, they'll want something new. Steve Jobs. The market never stops moving, and customers' needs are always evolving. If you only chase their current wants, you'll always be a step behind. Jobs emphasized that instead of asking what customers need, create things they haven't even imagined, things they didn't know they'd want. This revolutionary spirit gave us the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook products that didn't just meet needs, but reshaped habits, desires, and lifestyles. Greatness in business isn't about pleasing customers today, but leading them into tomorrow. The key is to put yourself in the customer's shoes. When you truly step into their perspective, you understand their thoughts, fears, and hopes, allowing you to create products and services that hit the mark. Putting yourself in the customer's shoes means listening, empathizing, and daring to see your business from the outside. A great entrepreneur doesn't sell what they have, but what customers need. They don't just deliver products, but experiences and trust. For in the marketplace, the winner isn't the most skilled, but the one who understands customers best. At the start, everything is cheap. So, encourage your children to invest as soon as they understand the value of money. Warren Buffett. In investing, time is your greatest ally. It lets small sums grow through compounding, turning modest savings into substantial wealth. Buffett isn't just talking about money, but an investment mindset, teaching kids to value money, plant seeds early, and reap big rewards later. The earlier you start, the closer you get to financial freedom. That's why he says, everything is cheap at the start. The cost of time is low, but the long-term rewards are immense. To turn exciting ideas into reality and fledgling technologies into a company that innovates for years, you need discipline, Steve Jobs. Ideas are just the starting point. Discipline is the bridge that turns dreams into achievements. A young technology is like a seed, full of potential but easily wasted without proper care. Discipline here isn't just about hard work, but clear processes, steadfast strategy, and sustained creativity rather than fleeting bursts. Steve Jobs meant that for a company to not just be born, but thrive and grow, it takes more than excitement. It takes relentless discipline to nurture continuous innovation. Set goals and ensure everything aligns with them. Warren Buffett. A goal is like a lighthouse, and every action, resource, and moment is the ship. Without a clear light, the ship easily loses its way at sea. Setting goals shows you where to go. Focusing on them keeps you on course, undistracted by minor temptations. Buffett reminds us that success doesn't come from doing too much, but from doing the right things and seeing them through. Promise. Promise big. That's the soul of advertising. Samuel Johnson. Advertising thrives on the power of promises. Promises of a better product, a greater experience, a more desirable life. Those promises spark curiosity, awaken desire, and spur action. But that soul only shines when backed by substance. An unfulfilled promise becomes deceit, while a kept promise becomes trust and a brand. In other words, great advertising is the art of promising skillfully, but lasting business is the art of turning promises into reality. Favorable circumstances always carry elements of danger. Tough circumstances always make us stronger. In good times, people easily grow complacent, losing vigilance and the alertness needed that's the seed of failure. In adversity, we're forced to stand firm, learning resilience, creativity, and growing stronger step by step. Hardship is the forge that tempers steel, building resilience and strength, so we're ready to seize opportunities when they come. Good times can weaken us, but challenges make us stronger. Success or failure in business depends more on the attitude of your thinking than the ability to think. Walter Scott. Attitude matters more than raw intellect. A brilliant but pessimistic, hesitant, or arrogant person rarely goes far, but someone with a positive, persistent, and action-driven attitude can turn ordinary ideas into success. Attitude is the compass guiding every decision and action. Ability is just a tool. It's attitude that determines whether you dare to try, fail, and rise again. In business, thinking well isn't enough. Having the right attitude turns thoughts into results. The relationships we have with people are vital to success in and out of work. Success is never a solo journey. Knowledge and skills may get you far quickly, but strong relationships take you further. In business, relationships open doors, build trust, and help overcome challenges. In life, relationships provide emotional support and synergy to make you stronger. Every relationship is a door. The more you cherish and nurture them, the more paths to success you open. If you want to get rich, think and calculate like a true economist in everything you do. Warren Buffett. Wealth doesn't come from luck or impulse, but from seeing problems logically, weighing risks and rewards, and acting thoughtfully. A true economist doesn't just chase short-term gains, but considers opportunity costs, long-term impacts, and broader consequences. Applying that mindset to life and business makes every decision, no matter how small, a solid brick on the path to lasting wealth. Don't buy what exceeds your true needs. Be an example for your children to think and act the same. Warren Buffett. In a world full of consumer temptations, many mistake buying more for being happier. Buffett believes true wealth lies not in what you spend, but in controlling desires and living within your real needs. More importantly, children learn not from words, but from their parents' actions. When you live simply, know contentment, and save wisely, you plant the seeds of wisdom and sustainability for the next generation. Anyone can buy small things with small savings. Encourage your kids to try some business ventures while still in school. Warren Buffett. Even small amounts of money, when saved and accumulated, become a strong foundation for bigger goals. Introducing kids to business not only builds financial skills, but teaches patience, calculation, and how to face risks. That's invaluable preparation for life, ensuring they're not daunted by the challenges of money and markets. To succeed, just put the right person in the right job. Warren Buffett. Success in business doesn't just come from a leader's vision, but from the art of using people wisely. A talented person in the wrong role can become a burden, but in the right role, they unleash immense value. A great leader doesn't do everything, but chooses the right people, trusts them, and lets them shine. The right person in the right job is the key to turning an ordinary team into a powerhouse of success.